All right, good vach and welcome to Maseches Megillah, Daf Yomi 13. This is really today's daf, day of Shabbos. Starting here from the last of the small lines, about 7 lines down. Shimon and Pazi have a pasach with Divrei Yamim. When he would start talking, darshaning Divrei Yamim, Amar Haki, he would say, Kol dvarecha echad him. Whatever you say in Divrei Yamim is really one thing, meaning everything. It's a repetition of the same idea. We know how to figure out what it's talking about. So what is one of the pasuk says? V'yishal Yehudiya, the Jewish wife, Yalda Yered. She gave birth to Yered. Avi Godor, Avi Chever, Avi Shocho, Esi. Sounds like the father of these children. Esi Kusiel, Avi Zanuach, Ela b'nei Bisya, and these are really the children of Bisya. Bas Paro, some say Basya, some say Bisya, the daughter of Paro. Sharlachach married. She married Merid. So now we know that the reference, the mother here is Basya, the daughter of Paro. Ma'ikala Yehudia. Why was she called Yehudia? Ashrim Shekafar B'Vazar, like we were saying yesterday, not yesterday, 5 minutes ago, in the last year I gave today. It's really yesterday's daf. Yehudi means that you're called for an Avodah. She was called Yehudia because she rejected Avodah. We know it says, and actually we read today in Parsha Shmos, she went to bathe by the river on the Yor, the Nile River. Amar Yochanan Shiarda Lirchos Megiluli Beis Avia. Doesn't mean she went to just bathe there. She went actually to eat tova there, do a gerus from the avodah zarah of her father's house, Paro Yalda. So the Gemara says Yalda says that she gave birth. Haribuya Rabise, she brought him up. She didn't actually give birth to him. The mother of Moshe was Yocheved. Lomar Lashkol Megadel Yosam Yisoma B'Sof Beisa Ma'ala Kilo Yalda. That's because the comes to tell you that anyone who a foster, someone grows up in a foster home, an orphan that grows up, he raises an orphan, it's like he gave birth to that person. Yared Zem Moshe, Yared Revetz Moshe. Yared was called Yared. Shiar Lehem Yisrael Man B'Yamav. He actually was successful in bringing man down to Klal Yisrael in the Midbar. Gador. Why was he called Gador? Gador Pirtosei Yisrael. He fenced up the breaches in Klal Yisrael. Chever Shechibra Yisrael Avin Shemaim. Chever is another way of expressing Moshe. He joined Klal Yisrael with Hashem. Socho Shnasalem Yisrael Kesukkah. He protected Klal Yisrael like a sukkah does. He Kusiel Shakabu Yisrael Lakel B'Yamav. Kusiel, he made the Jews hope for Hashem. B'Yamav Zenoach Shezniach Manasein Shal Yisrael. He made Hashem forgive or forget about the sins of Klal Yisrael. Avi, Avi, Avi. It says the word Avi 3 times. It wasn't that he was a father of 3 kids. It's a reference to Avi b'Torah, Av b'Chachma, Av b'Nevuas. He was great in Torah, great in wisdom, and great in prophecy. Ve'ela b'nei Bisya, Asher Lakach Merid. He married Shmo. Was his name Merid? V'alo Kalev Shmo. We're finding out the husband of the daughter of Paro was Kalev, who was famous for with Yoshua rebelling against the Meraglim. Amar Akash Baruch Hu Yavo Kalev, come Kalev, Shemorad Ba'atzah Meraglim. He rebelled against the other 10 Meraglim. But he says Bas Paro, and it's fitting he should marry the daughter of Paro. Shemarda Begule Beis Avia. She rebelled against the Avodah Zarah of the house of Paro. Asher Higlam Yerushalayim. Continue darshan the Megillah. Mordechai was Higlam Yerushalayim. Rav Shagala Ma'atzma. It wasn't that he was forced to leave. He left Yerushalayim himself. Vahi Omer as Hadassah. Karli Hadassah. Karli Esther. Sometimes it calls her Hadassah. Sometimes it calls her Esther. Tanya Remeir, what was her real name? Omer Esther Shema. Really, her name was Esther. Let me call Hadassah. Why should she call Hadassah? Al-Shem HaSadikim, because she was Sadikah. Shenikru Hadassim, Sadikim are referred to as Hadassah's myrtle branch. So, Omer, V'homei ben Hadassim, it's possible about Sadikim, he stood among the Sadikim. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Hadassah Shema. Really, her name was really Hadassah. V'lama Nikra Shema Esther. Why was she called Esther? Al-Shem Sha'isa Misateres Dorea. Misateres Dorea. She was secret about her nation. She wouldn't tell Achashverosh which country, which nationality she was from. Nechemi Omer Hadassah Shema. Her name was Hadassah. Grace Esther. She almost all of them Al Shumi Star. They would call her. She was so beautiful like the moon. These stars are reference to the moon. She was so beautiful like the moon, so therefore they called her Esther. Bein Azle Omer Esther. Her real name was Esther. Why was she called Hadassah? Because just like a myrtle branch is a decent length, it doesn't grow too big, it doesn't grow too small. She was of medium height, let's say average height of a woman, 5'6", 5'5". I think that's the average height. Albinos Kedazar. You should have been Karcha Omer Esther your crocus high. So really, she was actually green. Green doesn't mean necessarily just ugly. It means she has a darkish complexion. I'm sort of like a tan complexion. Not only did she have beautiful skin, your crocus people think she was green. She wasn't green. She was green. She was green. People have uh, pale skin. People have reddish skin, and people have darkish skin. I have pretty dark skin. I would say I'm Yerok green. um, People, she had a charm, a certain charm. She didn't have a father and mother. Most of Ima. And then it says when her father and mother died. Why is it mentioned when it says she doesn't have a father and mother? Why is it significant mentioning her father and mother dying? It's to tell you it was unusual what happened. Ibrisa Mesavia, when she was conceived, Esther was conceived in her mother's womb, and her father died. Yalisa, when she was born, Mesa Ima, then her mother died in childbirth. Mosavia Ima, when her parents died, Lacha Mordechai lo labas. Mordechai took her for a bas. Tana Mishur and Meir says, I'll take you labas el labayas. Bas, he didn't take her as a daughter, he actually took her as a wife. Achenu Omer, L'Rash in Kol Kim Kvasa Achas Ktana. This is Nastan, he's rebuking David for taking Bathsheba from Uriah. Uriah only had one one female sheep. Ktana Achas Shakana. V'yechia v'tigal imo v'imbanov. Yachtov Pito Tocha Koso Tishta. She drank from his kos, and she ate from his food of the Cheko Tishkav, and she lied in his stomach. Vatilo Kibas, and Bathsheba was a bas. So the Gemara says Mishum de Becheko Tishkav like labas, because normally a daughter doesn't sleep on the stomach of her father. Ella labayas. It must be bas is missing a letter. It means labayas. It's a nice way of saying there was a wife. Hachanami labayas. Here too also he took Esther as a wife, even though she was also his niece. Sheva Naros. Amarava. Why did it say she had 7 maidservants? She purposely, when she was waiting to be taken in to sleep with Achashverosh, they had people that attended to all these ladies to help them beautify themselves. Why did she have 7? And then she used them, each one served for one day. She can figure out when Shabbos was. The person who was in charge there, I forgot what his name was in the Megillah. It says in the Megillah. He treated her differently than the other naros, the other girls there. Amar of Shechila Ma'ich Lehudi. How did he treat her differently? He gave her kosher food. Shmuel Amar Shechila Kizli Chaziri. Shmuel says he actually fed her, fatty bacon. She ate fatty bacon. Rav Yochanan Amar Zeronim. Yochanan says he gave her seeds. V'cheinu Omer. Yeah, Melter knows says pas b'gam knows lahem zeronim. It talks about, I think Hanan Mesham and Azariah. Apparently seeds are good for Sadikim. Shisha Kadashim Shemen Amor. 6 months in the Shemen, the oil of Mor. My Shemen Amor, what is that? Rachi Barab Amar Satach, the stack tape. From a balsam tree. Rafuna Amar Shemen Zai. He says, no, it's olive oil. Shaloi Vishlish. It wasn't matured yet. It was only grown a third of its normal growth. Tiny Rehuda Omer on Piknon Shemen Zai Shaloi Vishlish. This type of olive oil is called on Piknon. Valama Sachanosa. Why do you use it on your body? Shemesha Saseir. It takes off the hair. You don't need laser surgery. Ma'adim as a basar, and it makes your skin smooth. Be'erev hibo boker hishava. As you know, it says in the Megillah, the ladies would come to Achashverosh's room at night, and he would sleep with them, and she would go back to the harem. They used to have a harem, where all the women would stay. The house of the harem. Amar Rabbi Yochanan miknus also Rasha lamanu shivcho. From the negative of that Rasha, we learn something positive about him. Shalom mishamish mitosa bayom. He would only be with these women at night, not during the day. It's preferable to mishtamish to have marital relations at night, not at their day. But he Esther nosis chen. Esther was favorable in his eyes. What was her favorite? What made her favorable to people? Because everyone saw in her, she looked like she was from their their nation. She was brought to the king. B'chodesh Asiri, who chodesh Teves, and Teves. Yerach Shnena Guf Min Aguf. Why was Teves significant? Because it's a very cold month. We're in Teves right now. Maybe the coldest month. When people enjoy, the body enjoys another body more because it's cold outside. He loved her more than all the other women. And she was more favorable to him than all the virgins. When he was with Esther, he was able, she seemed to him like both a psula, a virgin, and a bu'ula, someone who's been previously with other men, not a virgin. Amar Rav, Vayasa Melech Mishtek Gadol, and the next pasuk he picked Esther, and then he made a big party. Avad Mishtaya V'lo Galilei. He made a party in order that she should reveal her identity, which nationality she was from. She didn't reveal. Dali Karga V'lo Galilei. He took off the head tax for the people in her honor, and she still didn't tell him. Shadar Pardishne V'lo Galilei. He sent presents to everybody in her name. She still wouldn't tell him. And then it says that he gathered women together to have another contest. Even though he picked Esther already. Azal Shakal Eitzah Mordechai. Where did he get this idea from? Mordechai Amar Ein Isha Miskana B'derech Everta. We see that Mordechai was close to the king. He asked him for advice. He said that the thing that makes a woman the most jealous is to see another woman with her man. So he tried to do with other ladies also. I feel still she didn't reveal her identity to him. And after that, she wouldn't tell him her nationality. Amar Lezer, my dichsiv, lo yigra misadak einav. Hashem doesn't remove from a tzaddik his eyes at all, meaning every small thing that a tzaddik does, Hashem repays him for. Because Rachel, who was her son was Binyamin, she had sneas, she had modesty. She was zocha to have a child. Shaul was a king of Israel. Because Shaul was also sanua. He was humble. So therefore, Esther. He was zocha to have progeny. Esther. My sneas haisa b'Rachel. What's the incident where we find that she was sanua? D'chsiv vayagid Yaakov l'Rachel ki achi aviyahu. He told Rachel that he was the brother of her father. Ki achi aviyahu. Was he really the brother of the father? V'alo beinacho aviyahu. He was really her first cousin. He was the son of the mother of his mother was his brother and was sisters with Lavan, who was her father. Their first cousins. Ella Amrla, why do you say Achi Aviyahu? Mitzvah. She said to her, "Will you marry me?" Amrla in. She said, "Yeah, of course I want to marry you. Me, Abba Ramahu. My father is a trickster. Lo Yachalta. You're not going to be able to defeat him." Amrla Achivani Anabu Ramahu. So he said that I'm his brother. I'm just as good as tricking people, as deceiving people as him. Amrla me Charlotte Sadiki Lisguye Beramusa. Sadikim allow it to deceive other people. Amrla in, yes, it's true. Someone is pure, you should be pure. Someone is crooked, you should act deceitful also. You shouldn't get duped by him. Amrla Myra Musa. He said to her, what is he going to use to deceive me? Amrla Isli Achta the Kashisha. I have a sister who's older than me, Leah. Velo Minsa Vla Mikama. He's not going to let me get married before her. Masal Simonim. He gave her simanim, so he would know that certain signs, that if he tried to give Leah to her on the night of the wedding, she wouldn't have the signs Leah, and he wouldn't marry her. When the night came, the wedding night came, he was supposed to get married to her, and Lava, we know the story, inserted Leah instead of Rachel. Amra Hashta Misava Achasai. She felt bad for her sister. She was embarrassed. Mashatinu Nihala. She gave the signs that Yaakov had given her to Leah. So the pasuk says in the morning it was Leah. Michal that hashtadav Leah. I mean, only in the morning it was Leah. It was Leah in the night also. He didn't know Yaakov until the morning that was Leah. He thought it was really Rachel at night. Therefore, she was zocha to have progeny of Shaul. What was so humbling that Shaul did? Zachav Yatz's Menu Eser. Someone asked him after Shmuel came and anointed Shaul to be the king. Someone asked him, "What did Shmuel talk to you about?" He didn't tell them. He was sanua. He was humble. He didn't say that he anointed me king. He didn't want to divulge that. And therefore, he was zocha to have Esther among his descendants. V'amar Rebbe Lezer, Kishbarchu posik du la'adam. When Hashem gives greatness to a person, posik l'banav ulbnei banav atzav kol doros, all his offspring will also have that gedula, will also be great. Shneimar v'yoshim l'netzach v'yibeu v'yashrim l'netzach. Those people who are great will be for eternity. The offspring I'll raise up. But if one of the people from his progeny gets arrogant, Hashem will lower him. It says after the pasuk, if they're tied up in chains, they're only tied up in chains if they became arrogant. And Maimar Mordechai Esther also. What did Esther do? Why did she listen to Mordechai? We're going to see that she got up from the bosom of Achashverosh. She slept with Achashverosh, and then she went back and she was sleeping with Mordechai also. So she was obviously Achashverosh didn't care about Dam Nida, but Mordechai did. So she would show to the Chamim. I guess Mordechai didn't know all the halachas about Dam Nida. He would show the rabbis her Dam Nida in order that she would be muteres to Mordechai. Sharaisa ba'amna ito. Amar Barlema Mishmei the Rav. Shaisa medes mechekol shel Achashverosh with the velas v'yoshev bechekol shel Mordechai. Ito sounds like that she was still with Mordechai. So that she would go and she would be Tovel after Achashverosh. Now, normally, if an Isha Ish is with another man, so she's Asura on the first man, on the first husband. But that's only if it wasn't, if it was Baratzon. If it was Ba'onis, this is called Ba'onis. It's kind of Tosas talks about this because it says Tilbash Esther Malchus, and she said, now originally it was Ba'onis, and now it's going to be Baratzon. So I guess now it's going to be Baratzon, and then it should be Asra on Mordechai. But then at the end of the Megillah it says she was still with Mordechai. I don't know. Maybe from that point on she wasn't with Mordechai. But before that she was with Mordechai. It was Ones that she was taken to Achashverosh. Should be Tovel, and then she was sleep with Mordechai. Mordechai Yoshi B'Shar Melech. Kotzav Big Son V'Seresh. It was after that the officers, the servants of the king, they got angry. Amar Reb Chia bar Abba, Amar Reb Yochanan, Hiksiv HaKadosh Baruch Hu Adon Al Avodav Lasos Ritzon Tzadik Umanu Yosef. Hashem made angry a master on his servants in order to do the will of a tzaddik. Umanu Yosef. Where is it we find this? By Yosef Shnemar Shami Tanu Nar Ivri. That Paro got angry, Asar Amashkan Asar Ofim, in order that they should reveal their dreams to Yosef, and Yosef should be taken out of jail. Avadim al Adonayim, Hashem made Avadim angry on their master, Lasos Nes L'Sadik, to make a miracle for a tzaddik. Amana Mordechai, where do we find that? Mordechai, Mordechai, right? That big son of Sarah, we're going to see, got angry at their master, at Achashverosh, and this led that Mordechai found out about this plot, and he was written for good in the books of the king, and therefore he was eventually raised above Haman. Yochanan, big son of Sarah, Shnei Tarsiim, they were Tarsiim from, I don't know, Tarsi is, which country that is. They would speak the language of that country. With the moment that he married Esther, Rashi says that he loved Esther so much, he slept with her like all the time, and he got thirsty because he slept with her. So since he got thirsty, he always wanted Big Son of Teresh to bring him his favorite drink, to bring him Diet Sprite. Bob and Natal Eretz B'Seifa, they were getting very tired, so let's poison him. Kadeshiyamas in his cup, we'll put poison in his cup. Kadeshiyamas, I'll die. But they didn't know. Big Son of Sarah didn't know that Mordechai was on the Sanhedrin. One of the requirements of being a Sanhedrin, you have to know 70 languages. And he knows Tursi. Amar lo v'alo imishmarti mishmars chashava. So Big Son and Terah said to each other, they said, we're not on the same, we serve different jobs. If we would serve the same job, so then, one person could fill the other person's job. Amar lo ani yashmar mishmarti mishmarcha. He said, when you go poison the king, I'll watch your guard, I'll do your job and my job at the same time. How did they find out? They try to find it. Mordechai told them, and they looked into it and they found out. How did they find out? They found out that only one person was at his job. He was filling in for the other person who was missing. After the following things, after what had just transpired, big time that Haman came to power. After HaKadosh Baruch Hu already created a medicine, a refuah, a healing for the Makkah. Hashem doesn't punish Klal Yisrael unless before he makes a refuah, he makes a way of healing, and then he gives them the Makkah in order that, or he doesn't give them the Makkah. What does it mean? It means he creates a refuah and then he gives them the Makkah and then he heals them. Sounds like parents always said that. One time I remember my parents saying this to me. They said, this is a famous refrain of my parents. I don't know how they know this chazal, but they always say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's midah is his borei refuah kodem l'maka. He creates a refuah, he creates a medicine, a healing, before he actually hits you. And I think it means that he heals you before he actually hits you. It hits you when he doesn't actually hit you. Shnemar Kirapi Yisrael v'nigla avon Ephraim. I healed Klal Yisrael, and then the sin became apparent to me, meaning the healing was done before. But the other nations, Hashem doesn't do that. Makkah, first he punishes them, and then he gives them a remedy. Shnemar v'nagav Hashem es Mitzrayim nagav v'rafa. First Hashem he smite Mitzrayim, he hit them down, and then he healed them. It says Levado. Haman didn't want to just kill Mordechai. But kill Mordechai. First he wanted to kill Mordechai, Levado by himself. Mordechai. Then he wanted to kill the nation of Mordechai. Who is the nation of Mordechai? I mean, his friends. Those were the rabbis. But then he got so angry he wanted to kill all the Jews. He built Pur Hua Goral. Tana came on Shenafal Pur Bechodesh Adar, when the lottery fell out that he was going to kill them in Adar. Samach Simcha Gdola. Haman was very happy. It's fortuitous that it happened during Adar because it's a cursed month for the Jews. And Moshe died, their leader died. They didn't know. Shiva Adar Mace, Shiva Adar Nolad. Not only did he die in the 7th of Adar, he also was born in the 7th of Adar. There's one nation. Amarava Leka the Yada Lishna Bisha Kama. No one has speak Lashon Hara. He was very good at speaking Lashon Hara. So he said, what did Haman say to Achashverosh? Let's destroy the Jews. Achashverosh said back to him, Mr. Pina Me'alokav, I'm afraid of their God. Lula Avid Kid David Kamai, like he did Belshazzar, and killed him. He said to them, they're sleeping for the mitzvah, not doing the mitzvahs, not keeping the Torah. They have the rabbis who are doing the mitzvahs. They're treated as one nation. Someone said, maybe he'll tell me I'm making a bald spot. Right? I'm making an empty spot in your kingdom. It's not going to look. And they're spread out among the nations. They don't not concentrate in one area. Maybe you'll tell me I can benefit financially from them. They're like mafur. What does that mean? They're like a mule. Doesn't have kids. Maybe you'll tell me there's a province or a kingdom where they live. I don't want to get rid of one of my kingdoms. They're, like we said before, they're scattered among all the Medinos. What does it mean? Their laws are weird or different. We call very nations. They don't eat the same foods as us. They don't marry women from us. And they don't give our daughters for us to marry. They don't do the laws of the king. They're trying to get out of work the whole year. They're saying Shahi is Shabbos Hayom and Pesach Hayom. You say today is Shabbos, today is Pesach. They always have an excuse why they're not available to do work. There's no reason for the king to leave them. They eat and they drink and they bring disgrace to the kingdom. What is it, disgrace? Even if a fly, speaking of flies, I have this fly that's flying around me right now. Even if that fly would fly in my coat, they'll throw out the fly, and they'll drink it. They'll drink the rest of the cup. But you touch one of the kos, you're a guy. You touch their kos. Throw the cup on the ground and it won't drink it. It's called right. Stam what is it called? When a guy touches an open bottle of wine from a Jew, it's called not stam whatever. It's Astra. I don't know what the name is called. He touches an open bottle of wine. He makes it like yain yain nesach. Im alamelach tov yikasiv la'abdom v'asares alafim kikar kesef. So Haman said to him, he was trying to tell the king that I'm going to give you 1,000 talents of silver. I'm going to kill him. Rish Lakish, all you do with name Shamar Vahaya Olam Shasid Haman Lishkol Shkolim Al Yisrael. The words of the shekel, he was giving them a weight, a measure. He wanted to use money to destroy Klal Yisrael. Afichach hiktim shiklein l'shiklov. Therefore, Hashem made shkolim, positive shkolim, before the shkolim of Haman. I understand. The first of Adar, he wanted to destroy them on the 7th of Adar. Actually, on Purim, on Yud Gimel Adar. So therefore, the first of Adar, there's a law that Mashmin al Shkolim al Kilayim. We start telling about the Shkolim. This is the Machzah Shekel, Reverse Masechah Shkolim. They start telling you to bring the Machzah Shekel, which had to be brought by the 1st of Nisan, and talk about getting rid of Kilayim also. So you see that Adar is the start of the time. The beginning of Adar, I start talking about Shkolim in a positive way. Therefore, to negate the Shkolim that Haman wanted to bring upon Klal Yisrael and destroy them. Hope you have a good night. Good Tavach. Good week. Shavua Tov. See you tomorrow with Daf Yomi.